We are going to war with Iran. We're going to bomb Iran by the end of this month, January. Come back here when I'm right. I always fucking am. On top of that, we're going to war with NATO. Denmark is sending troops to Greenland to defend it from the American invasion, which Donald Trump says is completely inevitable. That we will take Greenland either the easy way or the hard way. Now, the easy way is to convince them to do a deal. Now, the deal, Greenland is probably worth between $700 billion and $1 trillion. We don't have that money. And even if we did have that money, Donald is not interested in purchasing Greenland. He's interested in conquering Greenland. So we are going to go to war with NATO, the strongest alliance in human history. NATO will dissolve. And at the same time, the four main spheres of influence will expand. Trump will expand the American Manifest Destiny, the Don Road Doctrine, by conquering Canada, Greenland, and the entirety of South America. Vladimir Putin will expand his sphere of influence by conquering a lot of Europe, because NATO will dissolve. And without America fighting alongside NATO, the Russians will just trample their way through Europe. Xi Jinping will expand his sphere of influence into Taiwan and other Asian nations, whether that be Japan or Korea. And then Bibi Netanyahu, he's going to expand his sphere of influence in the Middle East, creating the Greater Israel Project, conquering Jordan, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Egypt, all that shit. And it's fucking nuts. So that's going on. Trump just banned visa processing from 75 countries. So if you are from this list of 75 countries that I will read off, your visa processing will stop on January 21st. You will be deemed an illegal alien. And in the United States of America, we are rounding up illegal aliens and sending them to concentration camps where they're being raped and murdered. So if you're from one of these 75 nations and you're not a citizen, you should probably get the fuck out before you get raped and murdered. ICE. Kristi Noem is straight up using Nazi quotes. I mean, like actual quotes from the German Reich, the Third Reich, like the actual Nazis. They're using, what is it? What is the phrase? One of ours, all of yours, which is an old phrase from when the SS, one SS soldier was killed in, I think, the Czech Republic. And in response, the SS exterminated the entire city, killed everybody in the city, burnt it down to fucking ash, and then steamrolled over it and created a new city. Got rid of any evidence that that city ever existed. Well, that slogan is now on the podium of Kristi Noem. And what else? We're just going to be talking about a lot of the ICE crazy shit that's going on. We have a lot to talk about, and we're going to do it. Hi, how are you? If you're new here, I'm Chris Valenti. Welcome to the Valenti VOD. I'm a dirtbag leftist. I'm a socialist. I fucking hate fascism. And this is real independent media. I never had a conversation with an advertiser or a sponsor or a government PAC, billionaire, any of that shit. So if you do want to support the channel financially, please do. This is grassroots funded independent media. You could buy merch like the merch behind me. Or I also got mugs, you know what I'm saying? You can click the thanks button down below to tip me directly. You can click the join button down below to become a member. And you can become a patron on Patreon and donate there. Big thanks to everybody who's ever donated a dollar to the channel. And thank you very much for 139,000 subscribers. I'm trying to hit 1 million subscribers this year. I know that's a huge jump from where I'm at, but, you know, anything's possible. Anyway, without further ado, why don't we dive right the fuck in? Let's start off with this. U.S. is freezing all visa processing for 75 countries, okay? The State Department memo, first seen by Fox News Digital, directs consular officers to refuse visas under existing law while the department reassesses screening and vetting procedures. I'm going to read you the list of nations, and it will take a little bit. Okay, the full list of countries where your visa will no longer be processed. Here it is. Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, Antigua and Barbuda, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bahamas, Bangladesh, Barbados, Belarus, Belize, Bhutan, Bosnia, Brazil, Burma, Cambodia, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Colombia, Cote d'Ivoire, Cuba, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Dominica, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Fiji, Gambia, Georgia, Ghana, Grenada, Guatemala, Guinea, Haiti, Iran, Iraq, Jamaica, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kosovo, Kuwait, Kyrgyzstan, Laos, Lebanon, Liberia, Libya, Macedonia, Moldova, Mongolia, Montenegro, Morocco, Nepal, Nicaragua, Nigeria, Pakistan, Republic of the Congo, Russia, Rwanda, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan, Syria, Tanzania, Thailand, Togo, Tunisia, Uganda, Uruguay, Uzbekistan, and Yemen. If you are from any of these nations and you are in the United States of America and you are not a U.S. citizen, your life is in danger. You need to accept reality. Your life is in danger. We have a mass Gestapo unit going door to door demanding paperwork, and they are shooting white women in the fucking face. And you think you, migrant from one of these nations with brown skin that doesn't speak good English, you think you're safe? You're not. You're not safe. They will fucking kill you. You'd be lucky if you got deported. They will fucking kill you. Okay? That's where we're at. All right, we're going to move into Iran news here because, as I told you in the beginning, we are going to bomb Iran. Trump hints at Iran decision as advisors meet to prepare strike options. President Donald Trump signaled that he would assist anti-government protesters in Iran as the White House convened top officials on Tuesday to weigh military options. The president indicated that the time for negotiations with Tehran had passed, saying in a social media post Tuesday morning that he had, quote, canceled all meetings with Iranian officials. But some political allies are warning against the dangers of entanglement in another overseas conflict and the domestic costs of abandoning the America First policy that Trump campaigned on. Trump was never America First. Ever. Never once. He was pedophiles first. He was Israel first. He was billionaires first. But if you ever thought that Donald Trump was America first, you have a mental disability. You're very easily duped, and I would love to sell you a bridge. Okay? Let's keep moving. The arguments against a strike include the danger of an accident or failure as the U.S. military and spy services attempt more high-risk operations, as well as the possibility of the fall of the Iranian government could lead to a more militant regime. Yes, when the Iranian government collapses, which is happening right now, it is going to lead to a power vacuum. And every single time there has been a power vacuum in a nation that we have coup d'etat, which is what's happening right now, by the way. The CIA and Mossad are embedded in Iran, stoking the flames of regime change, right? Every single time this happens and there's a power vacuum, what ends up taking over is worse than what was there before. Every single fucking time. Now, the Iranian regime is bad. I don't support any ethno-states, and they are an Islamic ethno-state. I don't care whether you're the Vatican, Christian ethno-state, Iran, Islamic ethno-state, or Israel, a Jewish ethno-state. I do not support ethno-states because I'm an American, and Americans are secular. We have a separation of church and state, or at least we did until the fascist dogmen have taken over our nation. But I will never support any ethno-state. But at the same time, this is going to leave a power vacuum that creates an even more violent theocratic government. Those are the only people who are prepared to take over in the case of a government collapse. All right. At the same time, the people said skeptics of a strike are hoping to avoid the open acrimony leading up to the U.S. bombing of Iran's nuclear sites in June, which stoked division in Trump's base over the wisdom of intervention in the Middle Eastern conflict and the meaning of the America First slogan. Excuse me. The National Security Council met Tuesday without Trump to prepare options for the president, a person familiar with the meeting said. Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and other officials are presenting options to Trump without preference, the person said. The president has repeatedly threatened that the United States could use military force if the government in Tehran keeps killing demonstrators. Other options could include increased economic pressure on the government, which is funny because the economic pressure is the reason why this protest is happening. The economic pressure is the reason why these people are being killed in the fucking streets. Cyber attacks and stepped up support for the protest movement. The cyber attacks are the reason why the Iranians cut the internet access to most of the cities, and stepped up support for the protest movement. This is the CIA and Mossad embedded in the region. Reports from activists and opposition news sites covering Iran, which have been hampered by the government's total shutdown of internet and communications, estimate upwards of 2,000 deaths from the protests now in their third week. Now, anytime you get an estimate of the amount of deaths, you can multiply that by 10 to get the real number. So if the Iranians are willing to say that around 2,000 people have died, the real number is around 20. So I'm going to assume that around 20,000 people have been murdered so far. ICE agents suffered internal bleeding. No, that's fake news. We did see that. The regime, the American regime, is claiming that the terrorist, Jonathan Ross, the domestic terrorist who murdered Renee Good in cold blood, is suffering from internal bleeding. It's all a lie. They're literally creating fake medical reports in order to create sympathy for the terrorist who murdered that woman. Anyway, so that's what's going on in Iran, and it seems like we're going to bomb them at any fucking moment now. Now, at the same time, Iran has invited ambassadors from the UK, Germany, Italy, France, and several other countries to watch videos of armed, quote-unquote, rioters killing people to convey to their foreign ministers. Now, the Iranians are claiming that this is actually an attack by Zionists and the CIA. They're claiming that Mossad and the CIA are embedded within the region doing all of this. This video is fucking long and stupid, but it's showing, you know, these are the quote-unquote Iranian government that are killing the protesters. They're claiming that these are spies, foreign spies. And then they're showing quotes of Trump defending the terrorist who murdered Renee Good. Why do they have background music? Because aesthetics matter. Always do. Now, I want to give you, just to show you the state of the right wing. The right wing now, like people like this, quote unquote people, creatures such as this must get their talking points from the Fuhrer. And the Fuhrer has dementia. So the Fuhrer will say something like, I'm ready to bomb Iran. And then he'll say, we don't want regime change. We're not interested in regime change. So you can't really have both. And I want to show you this creature. What's something Mullen? I don't even know his name. But this fucking rat, vermin, subhuman piece of shit is up there telling you, we want regime change, but we don't want regime change. I'm not kidding. He's going to say, we want regime change, but we don't want regime change. That is the state of the right wing. This is why we tell you that like every single MAGA supporter is in a cult. They have to get their orders from the cult leader. But I'm not kidding. He says, we want regime change, but we don't want regime change. Get a look.
No, well, as we know, the president doesn't bluff. He moves on his
Mark Wayne Mullen, that's this creature's name.
own time. Everything that he has said, he's able to do. And I believe these will be very coordinated, direct strikes. Remember, our military is always in a position to give the president options. We knew this was a possibility, even though we're not.
Hey, by the way, we're also all just pretending like this isn't illegal. Congress declares war. Congress has got, they're powerless. This is why I tell you, like, it's over. The American experiment is over. Congress needs to declare war on Iran. But Trump says, nah, no thanks. And we don't have an authoritative body to fucking arrest him. We don't have any, there was never anything set up to be like, what do we do if the president becomes the Fuhrer? There's nothing to do. There's no authoritative body to arrest the motherfucker.
Into the regime change, we're not.
All right, let's go back.
Is direct strikes. Remember, our military is always in a position to give the president options. We knew this was a possibility, even though we're not into the regime change. We're not. This isn't the Arab Spring like happened underneath Secretary Clinton, but this is the people of Iran standing up to a murderous regime. And if that leadership is going to kill their own people, the president said, "We'll come to your rescue."
But you just said you are for regime change here.
No, I said I'm for the strikes. I didn't say.
You said before that you're for taking out the regime.
Yeah, absolutely, because they're the ones murdering their own people. That's different than regime change. The regime.
So he just said, we're interested in taking out the regime, but that's different than regime change.
Regime change is up to the Iranian people. We're not going actively to remove the regime. We're going after the people that are killing their own people, and that happens to be the regime.
So Mark Wayne Mullen just said, we're not going after regime change. We're just going after the people who are killing the protesters, and that happens to be the regime. So if you could simplify it, he said, we're not going after regime change. We're just changing the regime. Mark Wayne Mullen just said to you, we're not after regime change. We just want to change the regime. I'm going to play it again for you, okay?
Before that you're for taking out the regime.
Yeah, absolutely, because they're the ones murdering their own people. That's different than regime change. The regime change is up to the Iranian people. We're not going actively to remove the regime. We're going after the people that are killing their own people, and that happens to be the regime.
But just
we're not going actively to remove the regime. We're going after the people that are killing their own people, and that happens to be the regime.
So, regime change.
Just to be clear, you support taking out the supreme leader.
We're talking about assassinating the Ayatollah right now. This question is, So just to be clear, you're advocating to assassinate Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, yes? That's the question.
If he's the one that's calling these airstrikes
that
in,
would
or
be-
If he's the one who's calling these airstrikes in, no, bro, that's our supreme leader, Donald.
the killings of his own people, then absolutely.
Okay,
And yes, Donald is ordering the killings of his own people. Like, dude, it's hilarious that everything he's saying, if you just start thinking about Donald Trump, like, just listen to what he says, but don't think about Ayatollah Khamenei, think about Donald Trump.
To be the regime.
but just to be clear, you support taking out the supreme leader.
If he's the one that's calling these airstrikes
that
in,
would
or
be-
Just think about Trump for a second.
the killings of his own people, then absolutely.
Okay, but that would be regime change.
At that point, the Iranian people have spoke. They want a regime change. It's obviously they want regime change.
So you do want regime change. Like, he can't even make up his mind.
See them. The president has warned them, do not kill your own people. He's gave them an opportunity. Right now, if the supreme leader wants to leave, I'm sure Russia will welcome you. But the Iranian people do not want you there. They are tired of your oppression on the Iranian people, and they want their country back.
What?
Literally everything he just said applies to the United States of America. All of it. All right, so now we're going to move on to Greenland a little bit. Oh, one thing I do want to tell you is that Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, he said that effective immediately, the federal government will no longer provide any money to sanctuary cities. That's what he said. Effective immediately, the federal government will no longer give money to any sanctuary cities. All of that is illegal. And I do want to point out one thing. New York City is a sanctuary city, and we are the most important city on planet Earth. The federal government needs New York City far more than New York City needs the federal government. The amount of fucking money that we and California give to the federal government, it makes up around 75% of the taxes that go to the Fed. If Trump doesn't give any money to New York City, we will just stop paying our taxes. And you will watch the federal government fucking collapse in a microsecond. Without the profit, without the GDP made in New York City and California, this nation is a joke. I know many of you are from different areas, and it might hurt to hear this, but New York City and the entire state of California are the most important places in the United States of America. More important than Washington, D.C. Provide around 75% of the taxes. California has a higher GDP than most nations. California's GDP is number 5 in the world, and it's a state. It has a higher GDP than Russia. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? You don't fund those sanctuary cities, then they don't fucking fund you, and your government collapses in a second. Anyway, let's read what he posted. This is regarding Greenland. The United States needs Greenland for the purpose of national security. It is vital for the Golden Dome that we are building. NATO should be leading the way for us to get it. If we don't, Russia or China will, and that is not going to happen. Militarily, without the vast power of the United States, much of which I built during my first term, and am now bringing to a new and even higher level, NATO would not be an effective force or deterrent, not even close. They know that, and so do I. NATO becomes far more formidable and effective with Greenland in the hand of the United States. Anything less than that is unacceptable. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So Trump doesn't even think that he's the king of America. He thinks that he's the king of Earth. Anything less than this is unacceptable. Now that is a threat of war. He is saying that if you do not give me Greenland, I will murder you. That is what he is saying here. So in response to that, Denmark started to send reinforcements to Greenland. We actually are seeing the pieces being placed on the board for America to go to war with NATO. So World War III is what we're talking about here. Denmark has begun sending additional military reinforcements to Greenland as senior Danish and Greenlandic officials prepare for high-stakes talks with the United States in the White House. The talks are meant to address increasingly aggressive annexation talks by the U.S. president and his administration. Danish authorities say the deployments are intended to strengthen surveillance, readiness, and operational capacity across Greenland's vast territories. Officials have described the measures as defensive and in line with existing agreements and Denmark's obligations within NATO. So the United States is literally operating like Russia is in Ukraine. It's operating like Russia is in fucking Ukraine. Okay. At the same time, Elon Musk is making deals with the United States military, and now Grok is embedded within the U.S. military. Pentagon signs agreement with XAI to deploy Grok across 3 million military and civilian personnel. The War Department officially entered into an agreement with xAI to integrate its frontier AI capabilities into Gen AI Mill, the Pentagon's bespoke AI military platform. Starting early 2026, all 3 million military and civilian personnel will have access to xAI's Grok family of models at impact level 5, enabling secure handling of controlled unclassified information in daily workflows. So, Grok now has access to classified and unclassified information embedded within the Pentagon. The kicker: users will also gain access to real-time global insights from the X platform, giving War Department personnel what the announcement calls a decisive information advantage. So essentially, let me explain this to you. Elon Musk now controls the United States military. Elon Musk now has the entire nation's secrets. Like, you know, the Pentagon has failed every single audit it has ever had. It's missing like a couple of $1 trillion. Elon Musk now knows where all of that went. Elon Musk just hacked into the Pentagon and downloaded all of our nation's secrets. Okay? That's where we're at. There is a foreign trillionaire in charge of the United States military right now. While other AI companies spent years courting government contracts with PowerPoint presentations, Elon built the technology and won the deal. Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, Starshield, Doge. And now xAI is powering the entire Defense Department. This man, the Sig Heiling Nazi, king of autism, is now in charge of the United States military. If that doesn't scare you to your core, you might not be alive. Anyway, I want to show you Donald Trump mocking Joe Biden for having cancer real quick.
You ever notice Joe would always cough before a speech? State of the Union, he gets, ladies and gentlemen. And then it would be like very short. Although the one time they had him spruced up pretty good, remember, he was high as a kite.
Yeah, so we have a joke of a president. Just an absolute fucking troglodyte. I want to show you a little bit of the drones that Homeland Security is now deploying. So, yes, we have a mass Gestapo Nazi unit going door to door demanding to see paperwork, but we also have them deploying drones that will chase you down. Ark Raiders is a documentary. Takes place in the future. But yeah, no, like, this is us dipping our toes in the water in terms of the government deploying autonomous targeting systems against its own people. This is us dipping our toe in the water. 70 years from now, Ark Raiders is going to be fucking real. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. Anyway, Musk's AI tool Grok will be integrated into the Pentagon, says Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth announced on Monday that the U.S. military will begin integrating Elon Musk's artificial intelligence tool Grok into Pentagon networks. What else here? Speaking at the SpaceX headquarters in Texas on Monday evening, the U.S. Defense Secretary said that the integration of Grok into military systems would go live later this month. Very soon, we will have the world's leading AI models on every unclassified and classified network throughout our department. Grok is about to consume our classified intelligence. Hegseth also unveiled a new AI acceleration strategy at the Department of Defense, and he said will unleash experimentation, eliminate bureaucratic barriers, focus on investments, and demonstrate the execution approach needed to ensure we lead in military AI and that it grows more dominant in the future. Dude, I hate AI so fucking much. I genuinely fucking despise it. I wish we never goddamn created it. I want to show you this great-ass video of a Ford worker. So Trump took a little visit to a Ford auto plant, like the cars, and, you know, he's waving, he's doing his fucking thing. And one of the auto plant workers yelled at him, goes, "Pedophile protector!" And Donald literally goes, and we have it on video, he goes, "Fuck you! Fuck you!" I'm not kidding, bro. That That is such an admission of guilt. That is such a fucking crazy admission of guilt. Let me see if I can get the video here. Here it is. Here it is. Did you hear that? You hear it in the very beginning. The guy goes, pedophile protector! Watch. Fuck you. You, fuck you. And then he flips him off, and also notice how tiny Donald's little middle finger is. That is a representation of his micro penis. He has this, first of all, Donald hasn't seen his penis in like a fucking decade. He's so morbidly obese, he would have to lift up his fucking fat body in order to see it. But even if he could, it's a micro chode. But watch that again. Watch that shit again. You, fuck you. Fuck you. Tiny, teeny, tiny little middle finger. Teeny, tiny little middle finger. So that's an admission of guilt. And the thing is that auto worker shouldn't have said the word protector. You could have just said pedophile, because Donald Trump is a sex trafficking pedophile, okay? He is a sex trafficking pedophile. You did not need to say protector at the very end there. Anyway, speaking of pedophiles, we've got Nick Fuentes here, the gay Mexican pedophile, and here he is defending pedophilia, saying that the people in the Epstein files, I mean, they really didn't do anything wrong. And I'm not kidding, this is what he says here. I also would like to point out the fact that he's trying to grow out a beard, and it's failing miserably.
This whole pedo thing, it's like, is it really pedophilia? I don't want to be the one that has to say it, but I guess I'm being forced to say it. It's not really pedophilia, okay?
Technically, it's not pedophilia, it's ephebophilia. Yes, they're underage girls, but they look like they're not, which means that it's just morally wrong.
No, it's pedophilia. No, it's simply pedophilia. Having sex with children is pedophilia. There's no debating that. Let's listen to it again.
This whole pedo thing, it's like, is it really pedophilia? I don't want to be the one that has to say it, but I guess I'm being forced to say it. It's not really pedophilia, okay? They weren't trafficking 5-year-olds. It was like they were technically not legal.
We have reached the point where the right wing is saying, at least she wasn't 5. Yes, the president fucked children. But at least she wasn't 5. That is groypers who might be watching this, or like young men who are teetering on the edge, and you think like, oh, Nick Fuentes is kind of cool. Yeah. He's a pedophile, and he's advocating for pedophilia. He's also gay and a Mexican, okay? There's nothing wrong with those, but he's the leader of the white race. He's your Aryan king, and he's a gay Mexican pedophile, okay? So go ahead, cheer for him all you want.
Big difference. In my opinion. I know that's a controversial take, but that's not really the issue there. Okay? The issue is not that they were barely legal teens, which is...
They weren't barely legal. It was illegal. Barely legal would be like an 18-year-old. They weren't fucking 18, and even that is creepy as shit. They weren't fucking 18-year-olds. They were fucking kids. They're not even barely legal. It's just not fucking legal.
What it is. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's pedophilia. Okay, relax.
Okay, so you're a pedophile. So this is a pedophile. Nick Fuentes is a pedophile.
No, the issue is that Epstein is a Jewish spy, probably working with Israel.
You literally work for Mossad, bro. You literally work for Mossad and the CIA. You're actually a Fed.
That's the dilemma there. He's working with Israeli intelligence.
So you're saying that the problem with the pedophiles is not that they're pedophiles, it's that they're Jewish. That is the state of Nick Fuentes. This is the state of the alt-right. What a fucking disgusting vermin. Subhuman class of fucking vermin. Unfucking believable. Speaking of grifting pedophiles, I got Destiny here for you. Just so you know, American politics, like the influencer side of it, is perfect for grifters. And we're talking about like failed actors and people who wanted to be, you know, on Survivor and Big Brother, who finally realized that they can skip the whole middle ground and just start grifting on their own, and they could probably get these contracts. Now, this isn't just on the right. This is on the right and the left. And I want to show you just peak fucking grift, because there's a new reality TV show coming out, and you're not gonna fucking believe it.
We're on in 3, 2,
New Amazon Prime show.
1.
You elected a literal socialist to run
This is the trailer.
global center of capitalism.
We're talking about giving the Nobel Peace Prize to a guy who is declaring war on his own cities.
Your job was like the first lady. That's not even a real job. You just support your gay husband.
It's Xavier Day.
It's Xavier Week. Like,
Yeah.
the only reason you're choosing to go meet up with your friend Amber Rose while we're filming a reality show is because you weren't in the show. America is unwell.
The ice is back in town!
Now I run your show. Even bring her diet. Get out of here.
I miss Charlie. This is America. Everyone has guns, you know.
We're the counter organization to Turning Point USA.
We slammed! We slammed!
I try to be the gateway drug. Thirst trap them in a little bit. He's a liar, and he lied to everyone.
I do not want to crawl back to being a corporate whore.
I don't want this to get ghetto. It's stressful out here, being black and Republican.
You accidentally said slavery
Yeah, I could imagine it's stressful out there being a black gay Republican, dude. You're a chicken advocating for KFC.
was okay.
What is wrong with you?
I'm actually authentic. People change. You stay this fucking same because you just want to get a check. That's all you care about.
Brother, you do know you're gay, right? You do know they're gonna round you up and put you in a concentration camp, right? Same thing with you, bro. You're black and gay. What are we watching? We're watching a trailer for the new reality TV show about the biggest grifters in American politics.
I'm as real as my hair.
Thank you.
If I were Israel, I wouldn't even provide matching socks to Gaza.
Walk with me. With all due respect, I'm not gonna call a grown man Destiny. His name is Steven.
Nice big breaths, okay?
Twitter's a mental hospital.
My entire brand just fell apart.
My entire brand just fell apart. Have you ever heard me refer to this as my brand? This is not my brand. This is my fucking nation collapsing, embracing fascism. This is my land. This is my life. This is my world. This is where I want to raise children and start a fucking family. This isn't about my brand. If I cared about my brand, I'd be doing what these fucking rats are doing, and I would tack to the right because that's where the money is. I would go on the right and I would say the easiest shit you could possibly fucking say, and I'd get millions of dollars handed to me by the GOP, the guardians of pedophiles. You fucking grifting pieces of shit. This is so fucking disgusting.
Like, I did not come from the trenches to sit here and be a fucking pedestrian.
You do have to have a screw loose to, like, do politics for a living.
Party Lines. Now streaming on Amazon Prime. Like, yo, we're fucked. We are fucked. We are so unbelievably fucked. That is keeping up with the capitalists. That's what it is. Keeping up with the capitalists. Oh! Ew! I feel like I have to take a fucking shower after watching that. Speaking of feeling like you have to take a fucking shower after watching that, Trump wants to go to war with Greenland and he doesn't even know who the premier of Greenland is.
On Greenland, sir, the premier of Greenland said today, we prefer to stay with Denmark. Do you see that as the
Who
final
said
word?
that?
The premier of Greenland.
Well, that's their problem. That's their problem. I disagree with him. I don't know who he is, don't know anything about him, but that's going to be a big problem for him.
I don't know anything about the leader of the nation that I keep on threatening to bomb and invade and conquer. I don't know anything about him. That's his problem, not mine. I'm going to bomb him anyway. Well, okay. Okay, Mr. President. Copy that. Copy that. Also, you're at the state right now where the United States government is telling you either comply or die when it comes to ICE. Not even kidding. Just here, don't take it from me.
If you comply, you will not die. That's it. Just comply. If you comply, you will not die.
Let it play again.
If you comply, you will not die. That's it. Just comply. If you comply, you will not die.
So we're past the point of ICE saying that if you don't comply, we're going to arrest you. We are now at the point where ICE says if you don't comply, we're going to murder you and the state will defend us. As you saw, J.D. Vance said that ICE agents have absolute immunity. Okay, that means that they cannot be held responsible for any crimes that they commit, right? And now you have elected officials telling the United States citizens, comply or die. And there's still some liberals, even in this chat, pretending like we're going to vote our way out of this. You have one chance to vote your way out of this. It's the 2026 midterm elections. You want to know why? If we lose, it's the last election of U.S. history. I'm going to say that again. If socialists do not win, and I'm not talking about Democrats, I'm talking about socialists. If socialists do not win in the 2026 midterm, that will be the final election in American history. Come back here when I'm right. I'm always right. And it's not because I'm a prophet, I am. It's because I can read. It's because I studied history. And if you study history, you can predict the future. It's really fucking easy. Anyway, check out, so you know how I tell you you're always up against Nazis? You are. So Kristi Noem just recently gave a speech where she was talking about how proud she is that that terrorist murdered Renee Good. And on her podium, it says, one of ours, all of yours. Now, I majored in history. I studied extensively the rise of Nazi Germany. One of ours, all of yours is a direct Nazi slogan. It is a reference to a massacre in the Czech Republic. Let me see if I could, I'm going to skip out of that one. Here it is. Kristi Noem, Nazi slogan on her podium today. One of ours, all of yours. So one of ours, all of yours is from when in World War II, an SS officer was killed in the Czech Republic. The Nazis retaliated with the policy being one of ours, all of yours. The victims, they murdered, just so you understand, they're going to go into the details here. The Nazis murdered every single person in that city and then burnt the city to the ground. Okay, so let's read through. One of ours, all of yours. The men. Over 170 men were shot on the spot. The rest were executed in Prague. The women, 200 of them were deported to Ravensbrück concentration camp where many died. The children, most were separated from their mothers. 82 were gassed at the Chelmo extermination camp, and a few of them were deemed racially pure, and they were taken for Germanization by SS families. And then the obliteration. The village was burned, buildings were dynamited, and the area was bulldozed and replanted to literally erase it from the map. Okay, so we are now at the point where, as I've told you, you are up against Nazis, but the United States government is actually creating podiums. They're creating artwork with direct quotes from SS massacres. Okay, it's not like they're doing some cool where you could be like, hey, it's kind of a point where like Hitler said some shit where it was like, he who controls the youth controls the future, right? And sure, that's true. If you put that quote up, you'd still be putting up a Hitler quote, but this is different. This is a quote that references a massacre. It's not about a policy. It is about a massacre. That's what this is, okay? All right, now I'm going to show you ICE shooting a teenage boy's eye clean out of his face. Luckily, it's not very zoomed in. It's not very graphic. It's a little bit graphic, but ICE is... They're maiming us. They're murdering us and they're maiming us. You don't want to watch the kid in the white. You might think that you are, but you want to watch the kid in the black. This kid here with the megaphone. Watch. You see how he went down? Okay, so now that you've watched him go down, you see this officer? I want you to watch this officer, the one with the paintball gun. Now, it's not full of paintballs, it's full of pepper balls, okay? This one here with the gun. Oh, sorry, this one here. Watch this one here. Bang, shoots the kid clean in his fucking eye. Point blank. Aimed at his face. Shot him in the eye. This kid needed 6 hours of surgery. He lost his eye. He lost his fucking eye. He's still on the ground. See his face? That's because his eye just got fucking shot. He just got shot, and now he's being choked. Now he's being choked. Hey, by the way, this isn't a third world nation. This is the United States of America. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a third world nation. This is in the United States of America. I'd like you to watch this again. And there are liberals out there who are going to pretend like we're going to vote our way out of this. There are liberals out there who pretend like democracy still exists. There are liberals out there who say, oh no, we can find a common middle ground with ICE. No, you can either abolish ICE or get the fuck out of my way. Whichever Democrat politician comes up there and their platform for presidency is we're going to abolish ICE, we're going to do a mass arrest, we're going to round up every single fucking ICE agent, we're going to do mass fucking tribunals where they're all going to be tried at the same fucking time. That's what we need. That is what we need. I need full throttle. I don't need this bullshit pussyfooting of there's gotta be a way that we can train these ICE officers a little bit more, and if they're better trained, maybe they'll be doing better. You are a doormat. You're a fucking doormat for Nazis. Pathetic fucking swine. The fucking United States of America. This is supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the fucking brave. Here, I got some more for you.
I don't care what they told you. If you guys get in my way, I will arrest you.
Sir, we're just observing. Please calm down.
You can observe all you want.
I am observing. Do you see
back.
me in the way? I am Beth.
You had anger issues as a kid, didn't you? Were your parents?
Oh, you really pressed a button, didn't you? To get him to turn to you like that? I guarantee you he did. Remember, most of these people, they come from broken families. They never had a good relationship with their mother. They just want to be fucking embraced and held and told that they're a good boy, but instead they embrace the cruelty that they have always fucking known. And they believe that they will feel better if they can make other people's lives feel worse. That is the thing about ICE. That is the thing about Republicans. They know that Republican policies will not make their life better. They're not that fucking stupid. They know that invading Venezuela and harvesting their oil isn't going to make the $30,000 a year that they make living in a trailer go up. They know that. So they fool themselves. They go, well, if they're not going to make my life better, then at least I can make these people's lives worse. And it'll make me feel like I'm higher up than them. It'll make me feel better because at least I'm not you. At least I'm not you, brown person. At least I'm not you, undocumented immigrant. At least I'm not you, trans. At least I'm not you, gay. That's how they operate. It's fucking insane. The cruelty is the point.
Present? You should be ashamed of yourself, man.
He is.
I love my job, thank you.
He said, I love my job, thank you.
You love your job?
I can't believe I get paid for this.
Really?
I do this for free.
I would do this for free. And believe him when he says that. These people would do this for free. They're doing this because they love it. They're doing this because they were too pussy to join the military and too stupid to become a cop. They couldn't do either. So they got their own guns, they got their own airsoft LARPing outfit, and they joined the fucking Gestapo. Friendly reminder, these are the Proud Boys. These are the white supremacists. This is Patriot Front, the Three Percenters, the Ku Klux Klan. These are not actual federal officers. These are the most racist, failed high school dropouts you've ever fucking seen.
Physician assistant.
How long did you go to school for that?
Over 7 years.
I went to high school and I make $200K.
He said, I went to high school and I make $200K. And he's right. He is making $200K. You get a $50,000 sign-on bonus for joining ICE and a $140,000 salary. They are offering these people socialism so that they will fight and defend capitalism.
People regard me as someone valuable in society. What about you? Is yours says prestige? No, it doesn't. Come out and report if you can.
Unfucking believable. Speaking of ICE detainees, so ICE detained a Costa Rican man, and he was perfectly healthy when they arrested him, and then he entered a vegetative state, some sort of a coma, probably because they tortured and beat him relentlessly. They then deported him in his vegetative state. None of his family knew, and then he died, okay? Because when you're in a vegetative state, you need constant medical attention. You don't need to be fucking deported, but that's what happened here. Family of a Costa Rican man who was deported by ICE in a vegetative state is demanding answers. The 52-year-old had left Costa Rica in good health in December 2024 to cross the U.S.-Mexico border. However, he was detained by immigration officials for unlawful re-entry, as he had previously lived undocumented in the United States. He was held in the Webb County Detention Center in Laredo, Texas, before being transferred to Port Isabel Detention Center in Los Fresnos. After nearly 10 months in custody, he was deported via air ambulance. So this guy is in custody for 10 months, and then for some fucking reason, he's deported via air ambulance to Costa Rica. And while he was being deported, he was in a coma. He never regained consciousness, and he died 5 weeks later in a hospital in his fucking hometown. His younger sister told the outlet that he appeared healthy during video calls from detention until their last conversation in June 12, 2025, and then he suddenly vanished. This is what ICE is doing. Now ICE is also, this is all fake. What you're reading is fake. ICE is claiming that the terrorist, Jonathan Ross, who murdered Renee Good, is suffering from internal bleeding. That's not true. They are creating fake medical reports to claim he's suffering from internal bleeding. When we watched the video, he was never hit by the car. It didn't even touch him. So listen, I'm not even going to be reading this article, but I'm just going to be telling you, he's not suffering from internal bleeding. He actually suffered 0 injuries. He was so fine that he actually called her a fucking bitch after he shot her in the face, wiped her blood off of him, and then casually walked to his car, going like this, got in his car and drove off, okay? So, real quick, if you believe that the terrorist, Jonathan Ross, is suffering from internal bleeding, you have a mental disability and you should never be allowed to vote again. Now, more ICE. A mom was arrested by ICE days before her son died of cancer. A Maryland mother of 4 was arrested by the terrorists just days before her teenage son died of cancer. She was denied the chance to say goodbye to her 15-year-old son, Kevin, and be at his bedside when he died because the terrorists rounded her up. Her son, who was diagnosed with cancer 4 months ago, died 2 days after she was arrested by ICE in the hospital after making a turn for the worse following his mother's arrest. Quote, she has no criminal record, no prior deportation, has always worked hard to support us. My dad has been unable to work because he is the primary caregiver for my brother Kevin, who has been battling cancer. After my mom was taken to a holding facility in Baltimore, my brother Kevin's health took a turn for the worst. Late that night, he had to be rushed to the ER, but he was too unstable to be transported to his regular doctors in Baltimore. Tragically, my brother Kevin lost his fight with cancer the next morning, and my mom was not allowed to be there to say goodbye. Mothers being forced to stay in a cage while their baby boy dies of cancer. I guarantee you all that fucking kid wanted was to see his mom. I want you to really sit with that for a moment. I want you to really sit with that for a fucking moment. Fuck ICE. If your family member is in ICE and you do not tell the entire world their name and blast out their photos, you are one of them, and you should be treated as such. I'm going to end this on a little bit of a highlight, a little bit of a funny note. So my queen, Anna Kasparian, she decided to debate this girl, what is her name? Pearl Davis. Now, if you don't know, Pearl Davis is like this right-wing grifter. She's like a pick-me whore. All she wants is for some like right-wing MAGA man to love her because she's quite literally unlovable. It's fucking hideous too. But she tried to debate Anna Kasparian, who is a professional, and gets so fucking rocked that this dumb bitch Pearl stands up there like a 7th grader in a school play that forgot their fucking lines. Deer in headlights type shit. It is insane to watch, dude. Get a look at this.
Are you just making things up?
Anna is on the left. This is our queen, and this is the hideous horse cunt.
Are you just making things up? Pearl, what are you doing? Like, seriously.
Hey, by the way, this is supposed to be a debate.
Next question. How many women die every year during childbirth?
Not many.
This country.
What? Wait. Look at her face.
How many women die every year during childbirth?
Not many.
Not many.
This country has the highest maternal mortality rate of any developed country, so a lot of women do die as a result of pregnancy and childbirth, yes.
Hello? Hello?
Pearl isn't saying anything. What?
Like a deer in hell. Just some guy just yelled at you, got this, Pearl!
Anything. What?
You got this, Pearl.
What the fuck?
Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna watch it again.
Are you just making things up? Pearl, what are you doing? Like, seriously. Next question.
This is right-wing politics, by the way. This is what happens when you try to debate a right-winger.
How many women die every year during childbirth?
Not many.
This country has the highest maternal mortality rate of any developed country, so a lot of women do die as a result of pregnancy and childbirth, yes.
She just stands there like an idiot.
Pearl isn't saying anything. What?
You got this, Pearl.
I can't understand how anybody is on the right wing, like any normal people are on the right wing. Now, the last thing I want to show you is, I said earlier, if we do not win the 2026 elections, it will be the final election in U.S. history. Now, when I say we, I do mean socialists, right? Now, if you want to help fundraise for the socialists in your local election, you can go to secure.actblue.com/donate/slate2026. You can just take a screenshot of that right up there. You can donate $10, $15, $25. Now, it's much like my channel, guys. This is how you know you can trust these people, because they're trying to get donations from average Joes rather than seeking out mega donors, rather than seeking out millions of dollars from PACs, lobbyists who will control their messaging because of how much money they have donated. They need the money from you. And there's a lot of different people you could choose from. You got Conrad Blackburn, you got Christian Celeste Tate, Eon Huntley, Aber Kawas, Diane Moreno, David Orkin. These are all people that you should be advocating for and helping raise money so that we can genuinely have a socialist takeover of the United States of America. Otherwise, we will fall to fascism. That's all I got for you today. If you're here live, please stay. We're going to make a thumbnail for the video. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. And do me one last favor. Click that video right over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers.